what's going on? My name is Shavi Zane, and I really want to have a discussion with the chosen at this time. I had a message that was downloaded to my spirit earlier, and the message said, "The Most High made them believe you were a nobody on purpose." Now, this is pretty significant for the chosen seed because, today we live in a very superficial world where a lot of people base your value on, it's all about what you have. Do you have enough of it? Do you have more than the next person? Are you flashy enough? Are you loud enough? Are you getting enough likes, or do you have enough followers? What things can you accentuate? Do you have enough backside? Do you have enough, gold chains? And it's just everything is all about superficiality. And the thing about the chosen seed is that this journey that we take when we go through our spiritual awakening consists of what may feel and look like complete destruction, because there's a breaking down and a rebuilding that has to take place in order for you to come into remembrance of who you are and to really find your own value absent materialism. And so from the outside looking in, many of the karmics that were in your life, they saw you and they said, yeah, they're a nobody. They don't have enough. People rejected you because they felt like you didn't have it like that. You didn't have enough to be a part of their clique, or you wasn't flashy enough to have on their arm when they went out, or, you just didn't rise to their superficial expectations. But they didn't realize that they literally was entertaining an angel. They had prime and ample opportunity to embrace the beautiful gifts that you were offering in that very I don't even know if you want to call it tumultuous, but it was a very traumatic season that many of the chosen had to go through, especially moving into the age of Aquarius. Many of you out there can attest to taking losses that were just unforeseen losses, where you had to literally start from zero, where you literally had to start from nothing and work your way back up. But the thing is, they didn't see the value that you possessed. What you had to offer in that time in your life, and this is who you've always been genuinely, is a compassionate person, a very giving person, even in spite of the fact that you might not have had much to give. A good listener, you give words of encouragement, good hugs, a smile that can brighten a person's day, peace, laughter, joy. These are the things that cannot be bought. But you had a lot of karmics around you who were so superficial that they didn't see the value in those things. And so when you were going through the various trials and tribulations that you likely had to go through in your spiritual awakening, you took a lot of losses, and it literally placed you in a position where, from the outside looking in, people would say, wow, she over there, she's doing real bad. And they would have said that some of them called you, they pretty much put you down and said everything about you outside of the truth. Everything but the truth was said about you when you were going through your spiritual awakening. And see, the problem is, a lot of them laughed at you because they felt like you were losing your mind. They said, oh, he or she is saying they're going through a spiritual awakening, but if that path was so great, then why are they in lack? Why have they lost everything? Why are they sitting over there in that situation where they don't have anyone, and they're in isolation and all of these different things? They had no idea that the Most High literally hid you in plain sight. Because what was growing at that time were the gifts, the creative ideas, the visions. That's what was being developed within you during those moments where it seemed like you had nothing in the material realm, because everything that you needed had to start to develop from within. You had to realize the treasure that was already within you. And this had to be hidden from the karmics that was in your life, because if they would have known how great, how intelligent, how wise, how empathic and, creative you would become, they would have most definitely hid their hand. And they would not have been as quick to show you who they truly were. But you got to know who they were in your position of lack. And that's the benefit, because the Most High wanted to ensure that you would not attempt to take them with you down this path when it was time for you to reap the harvest of the seeds that you had sown. The Most High wanted to make sure that they couldn't fool you into thinking that they had your back all along and that they were cheering you on all along. These people know. They showed you who they were. They made it very clear when you begin to take losses at an overflow, when you had just enough to where use you, they could take advantage of your kindness and your giving nature. They ate in your energy, but they didn't treat you well. They talked about you. They misused you and abused you. They took advantage of your kindness. They said you were dumb, that you were naive. But see, they made a major mistake by not seeing your value when the most valuable aspect of who you are was being presented to them, and that's your heart. But now you're getting ready to have all of those things in the material realm to match who you have always been internally. An overflow of abundance to where your enemies are going to be kicking themselves for not seeing your value when you were present in their lives. The Most High is getting ready to lift you up so high that everyone who walked away from you, that took advantage of you, that talked about you, that laughed at you, they're getting like, how did I not know? Where did this version of this chosen come from? How did he or she become this great person today? How did they get lifted up so fast? How did they come from lack to riches? How did they go from riches? How did this happen? You'll be standing there with your, and you know it wasn't nobody but the Most High. You're going to give honor where honor is due. And they're still going to sit back and scratch their heads thinking that you did something to come up fast and you must be involved in some sort of scheme, because there's no way possible. You just come out and, shining and thriving, and they have no idea where it came from. They have no idea where all of these creative ideas came from, where all of this confidence and boldness came from. It's baffling them. Because if you were one of the chosen, or highly introverted, which many of the chosen seed are, because you have a hard to have your voice heard, a whole bunch of people that's just talking loud but ain't saying nothing at all. It's hard to be heard amongst them. The chosen ends up shrinking and dimming their light in the presence of that energy, because you never feel like you fit in. And so that's when people think that they can take advantage of you, because they feel that your silence is fear. Your silence indicates insecurity. And it does get you to that point in your life where you feel insecure about speaking out. You feel like no one wants to hear what you have to say. You feel like it's valuable, or you're not as but once you go through your spiritual awakening and you begin to heal and you start to discover yourself, you start to come into remembrance of who you are, you start to step into your power, you start to come into your authentic nature, getting back to your origin, to your roots, and you grow, you come out, you begin to sprout. People look at you and they're like, who is this? Where did this person come from who they were able to misuse and abuse? And they thought that they had on your behalf. They thought they were your voice. They felt they were superior to you because you had certain fears. They thought that they were living the good life, truly believe you would never obtain. But now, the harvest that you're receiving goes above and beyond anything that they have been able to accumulate in this lifetime. And that's what's throwing them off the most, because now you're not the, first of all, as a chosen seed, you're not out here thumping your chest saying, yeah, I got more than you. Yeah, I've risen higher than you. No, you don't have to say anything. You just live and exist. And you allow their own insecurities to eat away at them because they're so superficial that they can't see the struggle and the sacrifice and the hardship and the healing and the crying at night and the losing of sleep and the prayers and, the patience, the sowing of seeds and the perseverance and the persistence and the climbing up that mountain. They didn't get to see what you went through that actually led you where you are, because during that time, in that season of growth, you were hidden away from them so that they could not enter your growth. And so when you come out of darkness, you out of the shadows, and you stepping back out into the spotlight, people have no idea who you are. They don't recognize you. They don't recognize your voice. They don't recognize your characteristics, your personality. There's no part of you that they understand. It's baffling them. Then they try to tell you, oh, you're fake. Oh, you're just saying this because they don't want to believe that you have actually gone through a real life transformation right in front of their faces. And the only thing they can do is try to remind you of who you used to be, because that makes them feel more comfortable. And so rather than embracing you for who you have become, they will always try to implant a memory of who you used to be in hopes that one day you'll go back to being just that. And this is why you have to leave them behind. But from a distance, they're going to be watching you. And that's where a lot of times that evil eye comes in, and those ill wishes, ill prayers, hoping to see that you, backslide and that you take a fall, you take a plunge, that you lose, because they can't believe how well you're winning. And so this is why you have to keep those people out of your space. But once you go through that transformation, you don't teeter on the fence about that. Your spiritual eyes become open to where it's well understood who's for you and who's not. And your self-love won't allow you to open the door to relationships where there's no reciprocity, where no true empathy or compassion or love. You wouldn't have energy anymore. You would not welcome people into your life that's all based, superficial beings who have no care to heal and to become better, who's just about drama and gossip and foolishness, fighting, and competition. You won't welcome that type of energy back into your life. And this is why, at that point, the Most High says, oh, you're ready for these treasures that I've had stored up for you. This overflow of treasure that I have hidden within you is now going to be the treasure that allows you to attract the material abundance that gives you comfort and that allows you to continue to thrive in your purpose, that allows you to create generational wealth, that allows you to break the cycle of lack. Those beautiful gifts begin to get revealed to you. and you become confident in those gifts, and you begin to explore those gifts, and you begin to lay the foundation for what that vision looks like, and you're confident in your vision. You're confident that you're going to be able to begin that project or that creative idea, and that you're going to carry it throughout, into fruition. You're not going to self-sabotage, because in the past, the chosen self-sabotaged a lot, and that's why so many people around you anticipated that you would do it again. And they hope that you will do it again once you really come out of that cocoon and go through that transformation. They're waiting for you to do it again because that's what they watched you do in the past. The only reason why, though, is because the chosen, you've always had many gifts, right? Many gifts. And a lot of times the chosen seed ends up getting impacted in their sacral, their root, and their solar plexus chakra. Really, all of the chakras get impacted because there's always a strong agenda against the chosen from the very beginning of time, since you were born, to keep you stuck, to keep you in a low vibrational state, to keep you in a self-loathing energy, to keep you fearful. There's always that agenda. And so you'll understand that you have many gifts, but there'll be a scattered energy. You won't really know what to do with those gifts, and you won't have enough people around you who support those gifts and who applaud you and encourage you to build on those gifts. Instead, you'll be surrounded by karmics who will tell you, oh, that's not realistic, or they'll have slight-handed things to say, where you intuitively pick up on the fact that, maybe they don't want to see you win, but for some reason you just continue to tolerate it because you haven't taken your power back. You haven't learned the gift of self-love, to when you love yourself enough to say no more. And then considering too, in your adolescence and in your childhood, you can't cut people out of your life who are karmics if they're your caretakers. And so you just end up tolerating it, and you become desensitized to it, and you begin to believe that this is just your fate, this is just your family, this is just the type of people that you are to be reared up around, and you begin to actually believe what they about you. You begin to internalize those things because you say to yourself, well, the people who are supposed to love me, the people who are supposed to be my blood, they're supposed to be close to me, believes this about me, then maybe it's true. Even consciously, somewhere subconsciously, you begin to believe that, and you internalize it. And so is you end up, even when you move on into your adult life and you have creative ideas, you'll pursue something, but you'll quit it. And then you'll pursue something again, and then you'll quit it. You'll get this spark, and then you'll lose the interest. You'll get this passion, and then you'll, become less passionate about it. And that's only because there was still more healing to do. You would have to dive deep and go back into that inner child and remember you were never supported. When you used to play the violin, when you used to read the dictionary, when you used to, dance well or sing well, you didn't have enough support. You didn't have enough people that pushed you and said you were great. And so you never felt passionate enough. But see, once you heal and you awaken to who you are, you don't need nobody to push you to tell you that you're great, because you know you're great. And those creative ideas, you don't need nobody to stand around and applaud you, because you know that the Most High is applauding you. You understand that the people who are closest to you likely won't share vision, and so you begin to build a soul family outside of those people, and they are the ones that tell you, wow, job well done. You begin to attract your soul tribe, and then your value is known, is understood. You understand your value, and others understand your value, and they appreciate what you have to bring into the world. The biblical text speaks on Christ having to leave home because everybody was like, who? What? The carpenter's son? Not there. What? Who is he? I mean, what do you mean he's a prophet? What do you mean he's a healer? What do you mean he can do alchemy? What do you mean he can create miracles? Hold up. Not him. Because they was too busy thinking about who he used to be. And we're talking about close relatives. But it wasn't until He left home and began to explore that everyone else understood his value. And sadly enough, you would say that, okay, he was the chosen. Some of your family, they're going to know how good you are. They're going to see how creative you are. They're going to understand how abundant and how blessed you are. But even though they see it, they still won't form their mouth to say congratulations. And if they do, it's going to be a half-ass congratulations because they don't really want to say it. Their ego and their pride, it just eats away at them to think that they were the same people who put you down, that talked about you, that laughed at you when you lost everything. And now they have to stand there and say congratulations. Oh, that's torture to them. So they'll likely remove themselves and disappear off into the shadows while they watch you obsess behind the scenes, hoping that you'll fail, hoping that they can prove themselves. No, you're not who you think you are. You're not all that the world says you are. All of those people who now recognize your value outside of your family, no. That's not them. They want you to fail. And that's when, if in fact you did, which you won't, that's when they will come running back into your life. Oh, are you okay? And then they'll start telling you all the things that they think they got that's to one up you, because they feel like now you're in lack, now you have nothing. But that won't happen for the chosen, because see, this breakthrough is a breakthrough that won't take you backwards again, because now you understand your value to the point where you will not sabotage or self-sabotage your blessings. You're going to continue to persevere. That spark that's within you is going to get brighter and brighter and brighter. That light is going to continue to grow and thrive, and you're going to become more expansive. You're going to rise higher. And so because of this, you will never, ever go back to who you used to be. And so that's going to disappoint a lot of people who really wanted to see you fail. It's going to disappoint them to know that they're going to look up years from now, and not only are you going to be doing better, but you're going to be looking better. You're going to be aging backwards. You're going to have more energy than ever. Your children will look beautiful. You'll be establishing generational wealth. People will know your name. People will be talking about your creative idea, whatever it is that you have to bring to the world, while they sit back in misery, wishing that they would have understood your value when you were hidden in plain sight. So keep going out there, y'all, and know that that process of change is only temporary. It's only a snapshot moment of your life where you take losses and material things get, swept away from you. It's only because the Most High wants you to see the value that's already within you. It's not about the things that you have outside of you that makes you valuable. It's what the Most High has planted within you. It's engraved in your DNA. It's in your spirit. It's in your energetic signature. Those gifts that you naturally possess. Authentic gifts. That is what you want to find value in. And that's why the Most High removes a lot of things. Those titles, those material things, those people, they get pushed out. And a lot of times you're in that energy and you're like, why have I lost everything? What have I done to deserve this? But once you come out of that mindset and you shift the way that you look at your circumstances, that's when you begin to realize, oh, wow, I've been placed into the cocoon because I'm going through a major transformation that's getting ready to take me to great places. And so I have to be in a position to fight. You can't still be a caterpillar crawling on your belly expecting to be able to take great heights. You need your wings. And so that metamorphosis, that transformation must take place. There's skin that must be shed. There's people, places, things, belief systems, ideologies, fears, unhealed wounds that must be shed before you can fly. And then once you get your wings, oh, the sky's the limit. You take off and you will never be held down again. and you come out with so many different colors. Nobody can anticipate what you're going to look like. You don't even know what you're like on the other side of that thing, but you can anticipate that you're going to be beautiful. And when you fly past people, because I tell you, everybody takes notice of a butterfly. I've never known one person that will see a butterfly, I don't care what color it is. If you see it, you're going to stop and take notice and say, wow. And that's going to be the response of many of those people who did not see your value when it seemed like you had lost everything. So keep pushing. I love you all. Like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll talk to you all next time.
Olá, meus queridos capricornianos, bem-vindos a Almas do Universo, bem-vindos à nossa leitura para as previsões do ano de 2024, que vai englobar. E para quem não me conhece, me chamo Márcia, sejam todos bem-vindos. Se você não é inscrito no canal, se inscreva, assim você recebe de novos vídeos quando eu posto. E não esqueça de deixar o seu like e seus comentários, que sempre são extremamente importantes, tá bom? E então, espero que vocês tenham passado assim, um ano bem bacana, junto das pessoas que vocês gostam, porque não é tanto sobre o que acontece, mas com quem estamos, né, que é importante. Então, vamos lá, meus queridos, vamos ver aí o que essas previsões trazem para vocês. Esse ano é um ano que vai ser assim de altos e baixos bastante intensos, então vamos todos nos segurarmos aí, né? Mas é sempre diferente para cada um, depende muito do momento da sua vida que você está, que fase que você está vivendo, então as coisas que você fez, é tudo causa e consequência, as escolhas que a gente faz na vida, né? Muito tem a ver com isso, porque nós plantamos e colhemos, isso é de fato. Então, vamos lá, meus queridos, vamos ver aí o que nós temos. Então, a energia principal sua para esse ano, 9 de paus. 9 de paus, não desistir, não desanimar, não desanimar. E você tem depois dele o 5 de espadas, tá? 5 de espadas é uma carta de desafios. Desafios que você tem que vencer. E às vezes eles não são tão difíceis, é que você acha que eles são, até que depois você passa por eles, você diz, não.
I'm taking care of my copycat this week. There'll be no more copycats. You are now destroyed. I took back my throne and my crown. All right, stay tuned. Back with some live very, very shortly. 30, 45 minutes. Happy New Year's, everybody. I'll see y'all in about 30, 45 minutes.